with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought.
Is this what it feels like? A win! The first win in 6 games! Chelsea 3, Wolverhampton Wanderers, or should I say Rob Sanchez 1. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host Jan. I hope you're doing well. Chalobah has returned to Stamford Bridge and won man of the match on the Sky Sports footage, but also here on SofaScore, which is the platform I'll be referencing in just a moment. So much to learn and to talk about. So many similar issues, misfiring attackers. One thing's for sure, Noni Madueke, Ruddy hates Wolverhampton Wanderers, scoring again. We got a goal from Chalobah. Sorry, not Trevor Chalobah. He got an assist, which was superb. So did Dewsbury Hall. More on that. Cucurella, Noni Madueke, and Tosin Adarabioyo. Incredible scenes, guys. We're going to get into it today. A much needed win that keeps us in the top 4 before visiting the Etihad. Thank you as always for joining me. Thank you for supporting the content, liking and subscribing. Guys, for those of you interested, the merch is now live. The store's now live. I've tried to put them underneath the videos, the Goat Gang merch. I'll put a link in the description as well for those of you who are interested. Guys, we knew Cole Palmer wasn't 100%. He did start in this game. We were worried. I just feel like, because I was just there's so much to get into, okay? Let's look at the SofaScore, all right? Attacking momentum loads Chelsea at home, of course. And it was the majority of the first half, but we ended this first half actually on the ropes. And this area here, that's pretty much when we've got the game sewn up and just letting them have the ball a little bit. The lineups went like this. Of course, it was a 3-4-2-1 from Wolverhampton Wanderers. Good players. First of all, I know they had a couple of rough results, Wolves. They got slapped up a couple of 3-0 losses, but against good teams, form teams. But they started really well. They got a couple of wins and a draw under the new manager. And look, I know in the reverse fixture we did well, but that was a different manager. Wolves have got a good team, right? They've got good players. Strand Larsen's not a bad striker. Of course, Cunha's amazing. Ain't Nori's good. Joao Gomez in midfield was good. Semenyo's capable. You know, the defenders are fine. They can be good, Wolves. And for a moment there, they were getting confidence and they smelt blood against nervy Chelsea and a nervous Stamford Bridge. We played 4-2-3-1. Just having, we'll get to the goalkeeper, don't worry, guys. Just having the likes of Reece James and Trevoh Chalobah in the back line, Tosin, of course, and Cucurella. Reece James playing as the sort of right, as you can see on his heat map here, the right centre back. Cucurella inverting into the midfield as the number 10. And interesting, Chalobah, who is a right-sided player, playing very much as the left centre-back here. When he plays right centre-back, right back, CDM. I thought actually when we had those weird changes at the end, he was going to go and play into the right midfield. Let's just have a look at his stats now while we've got him up here. Played 90 minutes. He got an assist from 0.2 expected assist. He made 7 clearances, 1 block shot, 3 interception. He won the majority of his ground duels. He won the vast majority of his aerial duels. Only lost position 4 times. Won a foul. 99 touches. But so-and-so ain't one. Very good pass accuracy. He made 2 key passes from centre-back. Yeah. That's very, very... this is like an all-rounder 1 out of 1 dribbles. Now, in terms of performance, that is incredible. Caicedo has been done a little bit dirty here in his ranking. He's like a one-man midfield a lot of the time as well. Joined Dewsbury Hall, Neto, Madueke, Palmer and Jackson. We'll maybe return to player performances in just a moment. So let's have a look at the stats. Let's do a game of 2 halves here. In the first half, it was 65% possession, 0.96 to 0.63, 2 big chances to 1, and 11 shots to their 5. For the first two-thirds of the first half, we were so dominant. I want to speak about that in just a moment. And then the second half, we were much better. at 2.2 XG, still underperforming our XG. Ultimately, 2 big chances, 8 shots, much better second half. In terms of how the game went down as a story, 24th minute, Tosin gets the goal. It basically is off a set piece, yeah, I think so, because he basically he's been kept on side by the Wolves player on the far side, and just basically touches and finishes it in the corner. He's scoring a few goals, Tosin. He's not like. Yeah, he's been good. For me, I'm not looking at him as like a Chelsea starter quality, but he's been good, and he's been chipping in with what are important goals. But guys, in the 45th plus 5 minutes, Sanchez chucks one in. So we can talk about Sanchez in a moment. Generally, he can punch it for safe. He can catch it because he looks like he's caught it. He's butterfingers it into the ground. And Matt Doherty, he was having an awful first half, finishes it like, thank you very much, mate, which is just embarrassing. And the problem is, and we'll do the player performances and goalkeeper. The issue is not that we've got don't swear, a not good goalkeeper, or that Jackson's missing chances. They are big contributing factors, but we have so much field tilt. After that first goal in the 24th minute, that came late in terms of how pressurizing we were. And the 10 minutes that followed, this is the problem. With a young, immature, nervy team like Chelsea, you need that second goal when you're absolutely dominating in their defensive third, the final third. And you're looking like you've been tactically set up well by the manager. In these last 6 games, right? So this is the first win in 6 games. But in this sample size, right? And then right up to this first half where we were drawing and we could have lost it or drawn this game, which would have been 6, which would have been a catastrophe. That sample size is huge. And the recurring theme is Chelsea is set up really well by the manager. And I don't think he's flawless. And, I think he's still learning as well, the manager. I'm not here to be like, oh, he's amazing. But I think largely we've been set up really well in most of these games. Start the first half on fire. Like, yes, it's working. The plan's working. The players are really talented and everything's good. But the slightest sniff of adversity, and these players, they just lose it. They just can't do it. And it's all about, I feel like if they do get their second or third, or even just the second goal when they're so on top, the whole thing changes. Then you can look to the defence like, we've got good defenders, like Chalobah played well. Reece James is just so good and assured, and he's a leader now. He is a leader on the pitch, even if he's quite off it, he's a leader on the pitch. Then you can look to that. But while it's one goal, and while you got friggin' mating in between the sticks, and just generally Chelsea is like a sort of still defensively flawed, naive side, you're in trouble, mate. You gotta capitalize when you're on top. You just have to. And you won't always, but when you just never do it. And even today we won 3-1, but we've in this massive sample size of games throughout the festive period in the new year, yeah. And this massive, we've got so much data of just like being on top and not capitalizing. It's not like, yeah, most of the time they get the extra goal. It's never. We never get that extra goal to make us safe. Like, ever, bro. That's a freaking problem. So that's the biggest problem for me. Into the second half, though, the first 15 minutes, it's a bit worrying. But Kiernan Dewsbury Hall, I think it's a Palmer ball into the box. Out wide. And then Noni back in, I think. But it's a glancing header from Kiernan Dewsbury Hall coming in for the injured Enzo Fernandez, of course. And Cucurella finishes inside the 6-yard box. Very good goal, man. Really good. Now, we're back on top. Sancho in, Pedro Neto out. Of course, Neto is playing out of position on the left-hand side. I wondered if Noni would come off because it wasn't really his day. But, of course, good he stayed on. But 3 minutes later, a matter of seconds later, he scored. So I'm pleased that's the way around it So Sancho plays in his native left wing, literally a straight swap. And Trevoh Chalobah getting an assist for Noni Madueke. And again, it was a knockdown. It was a knockdown from Chalobah. Chalobah had such a good game. Key passes, blocks, good spatial awareness, occupying the right spaces, dropping, progressing, pressing, squeezing on just basic big boy football stuff. Set piece, win the ball, and do a knockdown, yeah? Good old Sean Dyche Burnley football. Sometimes you just got to do that. It's high value stuff. He did it, and Noni Madueke was there to finish, and we all took a collective sigh of relief because we're like, right, it's probably it now. 3-1 Chelsea. Caicedo executes a tactical foul, and wins himself a yellow card. We see the free changes from Wolves to try and get back in the game. And then we see some interesting changes with Chelsea. James and Dewsbury Hall, I think, were almost certainly planned, of course, with protecting James. It turned out to be a straight swap with James and Disaspi playing that sort of reserved right back / right centre back. Felix did a straight swap with Palmer, George did a straight swap with Madueke, and Gusto for Kiernan Dewsbury Hall. I just want to look at some heat maps to confirm, guys. And by the way, 5 subs from Maresca, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who have been waiting for it. So yeah, just to confirm, Disassi, yeah, playing as a conventional sort of right centre-back, right back. Gusto, though, yeah, sort of left back, but occupying some inside pockets. And of course we saw, Cucurella was still on at that point, and he was also playing like a kind of number 10-ish E style. And then we see the game out. Sanchez gets booked for time wasting. So does Tyreek George, like a couple of minutes after coming on. And we see the game out. So let's just talk about player performances. Yeah. Okay, so starting from good to bad. Good, Trevoh Chalobah. We showed you the stats. Incredible. At home is Stamford Bridge. He was getting the Stamford Bridge faithfuls singing his name, which was lovely. It was a most welcome. Well, we can talk about if he goes in the summer or whatever, but let's be very mindful and present right now. It's nice for him to be back. He had a good first half of the season at Palace. He had an amazing game here. What a welcome back for him. Great, lovely. Cucurella, I thought was bad in the first half, like straight up bad. But in the second half, he's a lot better. Maybe tactical changes and scored a goal. And by the way, I hadn't mentioned it, but I just want to say it now. I said it on my Instagram, @FootballYannick, if you want to follow me on Instagram. I do a lot of stories and halftime lives when games are on. That early team talk, right, from Wolves when Jose Sarr faked an injury and the whole team just hung around the manager, Vitor Pereira, for about 7 minutes as he gave the whole... He literally... It's the most dumb thing I've seen ever. He was like, nah, I'm all right, I'm not injured, but then just literally sort of told him to go down. He stayed down for ages, the whole Wolves team. He's basically just said to the ref, I'm calling a timeout because we're doing bad here. We're losing. Chelsea look way better than us. So I'm just going to stop the whole game and change my tactics for 7 minutes. Is that cool, guys? And then they all went around. I just thought it was the most blatant shit. I said the swear word and said and hid the non-swear word part of that. Bullshit. Most blatant team talk cheating, but I was so annoyed by that. It really wound me up. Anyway, Trevoh Chalobah really good. I thought Cucurella was poor in the first half. Second half a lot better, and of course he got a very important goal that put us ahead and got us going again. So shout out to him. Again, Tosin scoring. We're getting goals from the back line here, which ain't right. And we'll speak about Nico Jackson. I thought Reece James was excellent, largely, broadly. Always sensible on the ball. When Reece James is on the ball, you feel safe. He won the majority of his aerials, the vast majority of his ground duels, and he was just safe on the ball, Reece James, He 2 out of 2 dribbles, just sort of carried the ball when he needed to. Incredible. Kiernan Dewsbury Hall deserves a shout, of course. He comes into the midfield to place Enzo Fernandez. He gets 94% passing accuracy, which I thought, because I felt he was a little bit shaky at times, but of course he got a very important assist, a lovely glancing header. Did make some tackles. He lost the majority of his ground duels. He looked a bit weak, to be honest, but he was functional, and he got that all-important assist for the goal that puts us ahead, so he deserves shout out. Caicedo is a one-man midfield. He literally plays so centrally. He got a yellow for he got absolutely... It looked like he got really injured at one point. I'm really worried about him. I think he's gassing out a lot. And sometimes he just looks like he's running the midfield himself. Like, he does an N'Golo Kante impression of running everywhere. Does amazing passing, by the way. We know he's a great passer. Took the captain's armband off Reece James when he was subbed. I think he played pretty well, but I just feel like we're so vulnerable in no cover. I thought until Noni Madueke's goal, both starting wingers were very poor. I thought Neto just didn't really make the right decisions. I think Noni had a couple of moments, unlike Neto, demonstrated a lot of strength. Like, Noni's actually quite a big, strong guy. He's a little bit like Rafa Leao in terms of like big, tall winger, but tricky 1v1s, but they're actually quite strong and tall. Noni's a little bit like that, but he frustrated me. Obviously, he got the goal, which made it 3-1, which made it safe, and it was a great knockdown from Chalobah. So in the end, Noni was good for getting the goal. You can't... None other forwards are getting goals. Cole Palmer didn't look fit. He had a good few moments. He took a knock as well. He got substituted at home, which you never really see. So, and Joao Felix comes on. And look, before we talk about Jackson and Sanchez, Jadon Sancho came on, had some nice moments, nutmegged, and then everyone else just sort of filled in a role. We were winning, right? So fine. Let's start off with Jackson, because he's not a problem signing. He's a good signing. I don't think he was in the position to take many shots. Yeah, so the thing is with Jackson, right? It's when he underperforms his XG, like, you know, when he gets like 1.2 XG and doesn't score. That wasn't the case in this game. He got 0.19 XG, so the chances weren't really coming to him. And I'm just looking here. He's made 2 key passes, which for strikers is a really creative metric. And he worked hard. He just wasn't really involved that much. He's gone. He's officially a big goal drought now. I just don't think he was involved enough to miss sitters. Of course, there was that one offside chance that he scored really well. Classic, isn't it, when you're offside? But I don't think he had like a particularly bad game, but he just wasn't involved as much as he should be. Maybe that's a little bit down to his teammates. Maybe it's down to him as well. A bit of a passenger, I'd say. But one of the worst performers in this game. I don't think anyone had a howler, except one guy actually had a howler, and that's of course Rob Sanchez in goal. So let's talk about that. Yeah, look, he chucked it in, didn't he? And there was a save he made as well that was getting criticised for on the coverage that was curling out, but he saved anyway. I don't really mind him going to save that because it's hard to tell early doors. Better safe than sorry. But look, if he's not doing misplaced passes, he's doing stuff like that. For me, I've been like this for a long time. I was thinking there were certain games when I'd be like, oh, okay, he can make an amazing save. Okay, he can make an amazing pass. But I'd rather a goalkeeper that can do okay stuff all the time than a geezer you're relying to do something really nice every few games, because you can't at this level. It's bollocks, excuse my French. It's merde. Will YouTube pick up French swear words? Probably shouldn't say that either. Anyway, look, it's nonsense. like I've had enough. We're not going to sign a goalkeeper in January, but we need to just accept what this 27-year-old goalkeeper is. What was he? Our oldest starting player? He must be Rob Sanchez. He's 27, bro. He's 27 years old. This isn't a 19-year-old goalkeeper that we're just thinking he's going to calm down. He's 27. This guy, you know what he is. I'm sorry. I'm just done. I wish him all the best. I wish nothing but the best for you. Somewhere freaking else away from SW6. Yeah, I'm done with the goalkeeper. I don't know what else to say. He's crap. He's not that crap, but he's pretty crap. Anyway, we won a freaking game. Hype train. Thanks for joining me. Thank you for liking and subscribing. If you want to check out the Goat Gang Football Therapy merch, be down there somewhere. Stick with me. I'll be here every single day. Can't wait to see you back here soon. Peace.